Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but we also have their new Star Wars TV shows and films that are currently in the works, and other projects out there that will be announced at Star Wars Celebration by Disney CEO Bob Chapek. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and really make sure to interact with you guys further. So it's really all the more exciting about the future of the franchise is that we have, of course, George, John, and Dave all working together as a team, really trying their absolute best to really turn Star Wars around for the better and to really bring it in a brand new direction while building it from the ground up. Now that's basically what John, George, and Dave are doing. They are taking a lot of Star Wars legends and they're taking a lot of new creations and combining them with the existing Disney canon as well to really give the fans something fresh and new that works around the existing timelines already created by Disney and their canon. So there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. We have a lot of new Star Wars projects that are moving along smoothly, such as The Mandalorian Season 3, the Ahsoka Tano series, the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show, which we're going to be getting in just a couple of months from now. I mean, it really is a great time for Star Wars fans to actually be a Star Wars fan and to really look forward to what John and Dave have in store. Now, I know that the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 5 is going to be a big improvement in comparison to the last chapters. In fact, I believe that Chapter 4 was by far my favorite episode out of the entire season. But I digress. What's really interesting about everything that is happening between Disney CEO Bob Chapek and George Lucas is exactly what they have planned for theatrical releases in the next couple of years, and exactly what it has to do with the Skywalker saga. Now, specifically, of course, on top of all of this, alright, what's really exciting is that with Jon Favreau currently beginning early work on The Mandalorian Season 4 that is going to be labeled as a new show that will, however, continue the story of Din Djarin and his allies, Dave Filoni is hard at work at the same time with the Ahsoka Tano series for Disney Plus as well, that is going to be filming in the very near future. Now, it's noted, however, that Bob Chapek and George Lucas have been in extensive conversations on when to announce the continuation of the Skywalker saga with episodes 10, 11, and 12. Now, Lucasfilms' plan is to release a series of books called episodes 10 through 12 in 2023 that will later be adapted into the form of films/movies in the actual theaters. Now, the story is set to focus on Cade Skywalker in a post-Episode 9 era that is planned to take place roughly 30 to 40 years after the events of the Rise of Skywalker. Now, in case you guys did not know, the post-Episode 9 era is going to be a big deal come later this year. That's when we are going to be able to learn a lot more about what actually happens after Episode 9, and eventually how it's going to pretty much take place many, many years after the events of the Episode 9 ending. So that's all going to begin by the very end of this year into the rest of the entire decade, essentially. So the story is set to focus on the character of Cade Skywalker, which is directly taken from the Star Wars Legacy comics. And of course, those Legacy comics/series is going to accurately portray him in a different timeline, which of course being the post-Episode 9 one. Now, of course, given that it will take place 30 to 40 years after the events of the Rise of Skywalker, this could very well label Cade as the oldest Skywalker in the actual Star Wars franchise that's actually going to be labeled as the hero. Now, this is the plan by Lucas that he is pushing on Bob Chapek to pursue that is now happening behind the scenes. Chapek already has plans to announce the new films at Celebration next year to continue the Skywalker saga at heart. Now, actor Garrett Hedlund has already been prepared and pre-planned to portray the role of Cade that is going to be considered the son of both Rey and Ben Solo. How both Rey and Ben Solo had a child is going to be teased and explained later this year in a brand new book that is being written by a passionate Star Wars author that will debut sometime during this December. So, once again, 2022, alright, this year is not only going to be a big year for new TV shows, it's going to be a big year for new canon. We're talking about new books, new comics, whatever have you, that's going to really change the history of Star Wars and labeling, new aspects of retcons that will be applied to either the sequels, the originals, or the prequel trilogy at that. Now, the fact that they are pushing for both Rey and Ben to be the parents of Cade, that is something that I think some of the hardcore fans are going to have issues with. Now, we talked about this lightly a couple of weeks ago about the new episodes of how the grandson of Luke is all set and ready to be implemented into these new stories because they are already pre-planning Luke's son to be a real deal in the Mandoverse. So basically, Luke's side of the family is already going to be an actual thing in the Mandoverse in the next couple of years. We're going to get into that in just a second. So, past all of this, alright, now Lucasfilm has already been in conversations with Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver if they would be open to joining the new trilogy as cameos, strictly, in each planned movie, and both Driver and Ridley are described to be open for the roles of Rey and Ben Solo again. Even Mark Hamill was approached on if he was open to portray Luke's Force Ghost again in these planned films that are in the early development phase. Lucasfilm is said to call the post-Episode 9 era the Star Wars Legacy era, similar to how the comics were labeled with Cade Skywalker in the series, of course, so many years ago. Lucasfilm was set to bring back 2 Sith characters, one of which being Darth Talon. Another one is described to be a brand new one that is being created already to be used in new comics and books for 2023. Now, Luke Skywalker's bloodline will also be extended in the new films that will feature his grandson, as Luke Skywalker is already developing, of course, the actual new family members throughout the entire Mandoverse. So Lucasfilm is actually doing this. Now, Luke's son is all set and ready to appear at some point in time in 2024 to 2025 in new Star Wars TV shows that will reset Luke Skywalker's history as a person and as a Jedi. Now, these new films are also going to feature a brand new war with the Yuuzhan Vong that come from a new galaxy nearby that travel to the established one. Now, the 2 conflicts in the new trilogy will focus on the 2 Sith that emerge plus the Yuuzhan Vong that are brought to this galaxy by the Sith. Lucasfilm also already has plans to uncover the ancient history of the Jedi and Sith in these new movies that will go over some new origins of the 2 and more to be explained of the Jedi Order. So, the thing about this that's very exciting is the fact that we are going to be getting a brand new war from enemies that come from a brand new galaxy. Now, this is very similar to how the Yuuzhan Vong were done in Star Wars Legends. Some of you guys may be very unaware about what in the world the Yuuzhan Vong really are. In the simplest of ways, the fastest way that I can really describe them, think about the xenomorphs in the Alien franchise. They're basically kinda sorta like that. And it's going to be very interesting to see exactly how that's all going to be done and pretty much reframed in this new trilogy. So, overall, I think the fact that Bob Chapek has plans to announce these new films at next year's celebration, not this year's, is a good move. You want to create some breathing room for all the TV shows that are going to be releasing, pretty much soon and later this year, because this year is going to be a very important one for Disney and Lucasfilm to prove themselves that Star Wars is coming back. So, like I say, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon